my lecture is Ustad Bismillah Khan, the king of Shehnai. Ustad Bismillah Khan is known for his magical performances. He was such a Bharat Ratna, that is gem of India, who is credited with popularizing Shehnai and bringing it in comparison with the other classical instruments. Prior to him, Shehnai was considered merely a folk instrument, just confined to temples, and was played on the traditional ceremonies of marriages. He popularized it as a famous classical instrument on the stages and in the concert halls. Though Ustad Bismillah Khan's ancestors were also Shehnai players, but he is solely responsible for giving this instrument a status of classical, powerful performances, not only in India, but at international level. Shehnai have become synonyms, and he is credited with having almost monopoly over the instrument. Now about background and early life. Bismillah Khan was born on March 21st, 1916, according to the book Who's Who of Indian Musician, published by Sangeet Natak Academy, Delhi, in the village Bhojpur of the holy city of Varanasi. He was the second son of his father Pegambar Baksh. His parents initially named him Kumaruddin, matching to the name of his elder brother Shamsuddin. However, his grandfather Rasul Baksh Khan, who was a Shehnai player of the court of princely states of Bhojpur, now in Bihar, named him Bismillah in the name of Allah. And thereafter, he came to be known by this name. Bismillah Khan was born in a family of musicians. He hailed from a family wherein his ancestors were musicians in the court of Bhojpur. His father Pegambar Baksh and three maternal uncles, Ali Baksh, Vilayat Hussain, and Sadiq Ali, were the renowned Shehnai players of their own time. His training in music. Bismillah Khan's training in Shehnai was started at the age of 6 under his maternal uncle Ali Baksh Vilayat, who was a Shehnai player attached to Varanasi's Vishwanath temple. Ali Baksh was a vocalist too, so he started Bismillah Khan's systematic training. At an early age, he was familiarized with the various forms of music of UP, such as Thumri, Cheti, Kajri, Savni, etc., in singing and then on Shehnai. Later, he was introduced to Khayal music and he mastered a large number of rags. Bismillah Khan spent his childhood in the holy city of Varanasi on the banks of the river Ganga. It was due to this environment that Bismillah Khan was attracted towards music from the very childhood. He was not very fond of school studies, but enjoyed the training in music. Now, about his career. Bismillah Khan gave his debut performance in 1930 in a music conference organized by Allahabad University. In this conference, audience was spellbound to listen to his Shehnai. Very renowned musicians from all over India were present in the conference, who applauded him a lot. He was presented medals and certificates in this conference. From thereafter, he was recognized all over and was invited in Sangeet Sammelans. In 1937, he performed in All India Music Conference in Calcutta. There he brought the Shehnai instrument to the center stage of Indian music. It is worth mentioning that Bismillah Khan's elder brother Shamsuddin Khan was also an expert of Shehnai. and both the brothers often played in an accompaniment of each other. Both the brothers were expert players, but as the famous Urdu saying is, Bade Miyan so Bade Miyan, Chote Miyan Subhan Allah, perfectly describe the brothers. Whenever both of them played together, Bismillah Khan always played down to his brother, as he did not want to overshadow him because of the regard and affection towards his elder brother. Bismillah Khan's brother Shamsuddin died very early, and he was hurt a lot. For some time, he dropped Shanghai playing, but regained it again on convincing by the people. Thus, after that, Bismillah Khan not only performed at national level but popularized Shehnai at international level through his wonderful performances and monopolized Shehnai in the post-independence era. Before talking about his remarkable performances, let me tell you about his short association with Indian cinema. Bismillah Khan played Shehnai for Rajkumar's role of Apanna in the Kannada film or Kannada movie Sanadi Apanna. He even acted in Jalsaghar, a movie by Satyajit Ray. He provided the sound of Shehnai in the famous epic films Goonj Uthi Shehnai in 1959. It was Ustad Bismillah Khan who composed the famous song Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya from the film Goonj Uthi Shehnai.
दिल का खिलौना हाय टूट गया दिल का खिलौना हाय टूट गया
Listen to the music of this film. It is also worth mentioning that noted film director Gautam Ghosh directed a documentary film on the life of Bismillah Khan entitled Sange Mil Se Mulaqat. It is also not irrelevant to mention that in 1967 film The Graduate, there is a poster advertising Bismillah Khan and the 7 musicians on the busiest street of Berkeley, California. He recorded for his last movie in 2006 in Swadesh for the song Ye Jo Desh Hai Tera. Listen to this song.
ये जो देश है तेरा स्वदेश है तेरा तुझे है पुकारा ये वो बंधन है जो कभी टूट नहीं सकता.
Now let's know about the playing style. Ustad Bismillah Khan played classical rags with such a command, and he had an equal mastery over semi-classical styles and folk tunes. That was the reason that not only the musically aware, but the music lovers and even the laymen were attracted towards his Shehnai. His Shehnai had spellbinding part. His notes, that is swar, were blend of his creation and imagination. He elaborated the notes in the traditional way, but with a touch of grace notes and meaned. The different tihais in playing were the main attraction of his recitals. His Shehnai was sometimes soft and sweet, sometimes vibrantly alive, with the sonorously rich alap, filled the air and brought the vast audience under the magic spell. He had unusual control over breath, with which he could express the bhav, that is, emotions, to touch the hearts of the listeners. Ustad Bismillah Khan's party included 3 or 4 accompanies, one of whom gave him the main complimentary spot. Instead of tabla, a dugi player provided rhythm accompaniment. Dugi consists of 2 drums like tabla, but smaller in size. The dugi neither has the sounding quality of the tabla nor the peculiarity the tabla has sustaining the frequencies of a note. Since it is traditional rhythmic instrument of Uttar Pradesh, Bismillah Khan always preferred to play in the accompaniment of this instrument. And also because its sound merges in the sound of Shehnai. About Ustad Bismillah Khan's remarkable performances in India and at international level, his recordings and awards and honors that were bestowed upon him, I will talk in another lecture so that the viewers can have the full picture of Ustad Bismillah Khan and his music. While concluding today's lecture, we can say that Ustad Bismillah Khan, the synonym to Shehnai, brought this little instrument on the stage and in concert halls. Though he belonged to a family of musicians, where Shehnai was played in his family from generations, but he alone was responsible for bringing it to the classical platform in comparison with the other classical instruments. Prior to him, Shehnai was considered a traditional folk instrument and he was played on the traditional occasions. The credit for bringing Shehnai to classical platform and for its worldwide popularity solely goes to Ustad Bismillah Khan. Thank you.